should be live.
Right now. All right. Okay, hello. Technical difficulties all over the place today, but thankfully I've been bailed out by my good friend on the Legion channel here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a live stream on my channel, but I've been banned or just not allowed or something weird like that. Anyway, I'll try and upload this later on my channel, but thanks for joining me if you do manage to follow the community tab links and go down the rabbit hole and all that. Anyway, today we want to talk about spooky movies, Halloween time films. Do let me know if you have any favorites, but I'm going to go through what I'm going to watch this year, and I'm in the company of two great people.
Yeah.
So please introduce yourself.
My name is Razius, and I host the Legion channel, and I have my own channel, Razius TV. You can find that if you're here on this channel, then you can find it easily. And yeah, I guess that's it from me. I do funny videos. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Charlie's Art. I'm just all-round nerd. Hopefully we'll be setting up my own YouTube channel at some point in the future, so one day you might see that. But yeah, love all things horror and gaming, so yeah, excited to get into this.
Yeah. Great. I can already see Graphic Nightmares has joined us. Thank you for that. So I put together a list every year from like the 13th of October till the 31st. I did think about doing a film every single day, but it means like it's a bit heavy to watch a horror film every single day, I think. So anyway, I try to cover a few different categories. Like I don't want to watch the same kind of film every day, so I don't want to watch like 5 zombie films in a row. I don't want to watch like psychological horrors back and forth. I want to have some like comedy in there, some different tropes and different things. So I thought there's a few categories here, and it would be paranormal, and that includes ghosts, haunted houses, and the supernatural. Yes. And then we've got occult, which is possession, witchcraft, religious stuff, devils, demons, and hell. Then we've got psychological, so you've got phobias in there, fanaticism, madness, paranoia, home invasion, survival stuff, and body horror, all kinds of things that play with your mind. And then you got the killer stuff, which is the slashers, the backwoods, the hillbillies. The hillbillies? The hillbillies.
The hillbillies. What a movie.
My favorite film, the hillbillies. Gore. And then the last one is monsters. So you got zombies, viruses, werewolves, vampires, natural, neo-monsters, all sorts of new ones that have come out, like creations of directions and stuff. And then you got sci-fi and aliens.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through my list. We're going to stop after a few, and then I'll try and answer some of the questions that were put to me on the couple of community tab pages I posted. So, starting off with Event Horizon. Have either of you ever seen that?
Yes, I love Event Horizon. It's so good.
Yes, so do I.
I've seen it once, but that was years ago, and a good friend of mine just won't stop talking about it. You know.
Yes. I know. Oh, is that Mr. Kings?
Yeah,
yes.
Kingsfire.
Wow.
Yeah.
He should be here today, but sadly he's not.
Shame he couldn't be here.
Yeah, never mind. But yeah, I think that's a real cool film. It was real fun to start off with that one because it's been a while to watch that. So if you haven't seen it, what was it like? It's like a haunted house film in space.
In space.
Yeah.
It's like sci-fi, psychological, but is there something else going on?
In space.
Yeah, such a good movie.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of actors everyone will recognize from somewhere.
Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Sam Neill is like such a good.
Yeah, he's deadly.
But then, other than that, in Jurassic Park, what else is he in?
Daybreakers.
Mouth of Madness.
Oh, okay, I'm the lame one then.
And he's in Merlin as well.
Yeah,
Merlin, like
okay.
the 2-part movie with Helena Bonham Carter et al.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Couple of good ones. So yeah, see that for me, that would be like a good sci-fi one. So it kind of fits in one of those categories.
Yeah, it's like psychological sci-fi horror. It's got a lot going on there. I really, really love that movie.
Absolutely. Now, the second one I wanted to put on was one called Temple, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and all those things said it was 3.2. It was so low. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know why it landed in front of me, but I switched it out because cannot find it. Can't even buy it to find it without. I need subtitles for it as well. So I'm gonna go for Audition instead. Have you ever seen Audition?
I haven't
Nope.
watched it, but I know of it. It's quite notorious.
Yeah,
So
that is a messed up one. Yeah.
I haven't got around to watching it yet, but it is one I really want to get around to.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's quite prolific, and I know like the premise.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. A lot of stressful scenes, and it's kind of like Audition is the whole story really is like this guy works in a advertising agency or a movie kind of thing, and his mate wants to set him up with a partner, and they were like, well, just hold an audition, put all the things down that you want from an actress, that you want from an actual like wife, and then we'll see if we can find you the right girl like that. And he finds someone, but I don't know if she's right or not. But that's a really cool Japanese film. It's around the boom in like the early 2000s. It's a good one. If you've seen it once, you'll know the points in which the film like swings and changes, and you'll never forget that. He looking for love, the chat say. Yeah.
in all the wrong places.
So that's a good one. I like that one. It's a long one though. It's like 2 different parts to a film. Halfway, it's like a drama, and then it goes something.
I first heard of it like I was watching the Vengeance trilogy.
Yeah, I love those.
And then it was like, oh, if you like the Vengeance trilogy, you should definitely watch Audition. So
yeah.
And then I watched a few like reviews and stuff, and I still haven't got around to watching it.
There's some jaw-dropping moments in there. It's good. It's a good film.
Nice.
And then I don't know if you've ever heard of Darkness Falls.
No.
Oh, I literally have the DVD from the Blockbuster days. It's a real old one. I think it's another early 2000 film, and it's about this tooth fairy, and like.
Go on.
Yeah,
Scary
I
tooth
know.
fairy.
Yeah, terrifying. Sure. This town got cursed because this woman used to give like money to the kids whenever they lost their last tooth. And then 2 kids went over to visit her to give the tooth and get the money, but the 2 kids disappeared. The town blamed her for the kids disappearing.
Right.
And then they like publicly executed her because it was back in the olden days. And then she kind of cursed the town in her final days.
So is this her revenge?
Yeah. So when some of the kids from the family who did that to her, or like the townspeople who did that to her, reach a certain age, they lose their last tooth, somebody comes for them.
Ooh,
It's really
that sounds really fun.
yeah, it's the lore of it is so cool. Yeah. It's really underrated, I think. It's such a cool film.
It's kind of like, I don't know, like folklore horror movies.
Yeah. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she can't be in the light. She has this like porcelain face to hide her like
That's cool.
burned face and stuff. And then
Weird.
if you put a torch on her, that's it. But so you can imagine the scenes and the tension, kids hiding in the blankets with a torch, like as you were as a kid, really taps into that old kind of fear when you were younger.
I like when they put in like a weakness like that you can like, oh, they can't be in the light, and you can deal with it so many clever ways cinematically.
Yeah, smart, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. Oh yeah, Ghost Shuria there. Darkness Falls, they condemned her and she took revenge. Absolutely. That's it. Yeah, real good film. Underrated. I think it should be out there more. So we'll go a couple more, and then we'll go to some community tab questions and stuff. So we've got The Birds next. Have you guys seen The Birds?
Hitchcock
Classic,
Birds.
yeah.
The Hitchcock Birds. You've got to do that one. Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it when I was quite young because I was like, oh, the birds.
Yeah.
Cute birds. I want to pet them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have like lovebirds at the start for some little girl's birthday. And you're like, oh, that's going to be quite a sweet film. It just goes nuts. But I recently read the story, and it's so different from the film.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Daphne du Maurier's short story. Really like bleak and dark. I wish they did it like that in a sense, but it needed to start at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you can tell it was an influence on me because we had like a creative writing club in school.
Ooh.
And one of my stories, we did like a horror one. Mine was Attack of the Gulls.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, set in like a post-apocalyptic world where the whole earth is covered in a rubbish dump and the seagulls have got massive, like mutated.
That sounds good.
And humanity has to like go underground.
Yeah.
But like there's 3 people that got caught above ground and the gulls are hunting them down.
Ah,
Yeah.
see,
See, Ghost Shore put Dead Silence.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the vibe I was getting from Darkness Falls.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's sort of that era where those kind of interesting little new films came out. They weren't trying to remake stuff in that time. They were trying to make something new. I really love that era.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. And then Signs. You ever seen Signs?
Yeah. I really enjoyed the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie, and then the rest was not so good.
Yeah.
But the beginning, like the build-up and everything, I
loved it,
thought was
yeah.
great. But then I think it suffered with what a lot of horror movie stuff where there's like once you see it, it's not as effective.
Who is it that jump scared at the sight of the alien walking across the camcorder?
Oh,
Was it one of you?
the birthday party scene where the alien just
yeah.
stops.
So
It's like
someone
in
told me
Mexico
they
or
jump scared, like, oh, that was the scariest thing they ever saw. I was like, really?
Really?
That, it got me. I tell you, it got
I
me
think
in
it
the
was you
cinema.
that told
yeah.
me.
It really got
I was
me in
like,
the cinema.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I like that. I love the story of Vicar like losing faith, and then
Yeah.
all these things are just slowly building. It seems like bleaker and bleaker and bleaker. You can see him. He's trying to hold together the family, and he tries to even give them the last dinner on the day, and he can't take any more. I think it's real. It's just a good film for me. I really liked it, but I see what you mean.
It's definitely different.
Like the build-up and everything was so good, and then
the music and it's like kind of Steven Spielberg kind of music.
Yeah. I think once it comes to like the solution, like how do we get rid of the monster, the horror, like that's when it started coming apart for me a bit.
I think he was going with the old War of the Worlds thing where they die of like the common cold, so there has to be like a.
I was a bit like, that reminds me of something else.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, hey, got some more people in chat. Hey guys, thank you for hopping over.
Big 3-3 bug.
Oh yeah.
Reese Deemer.
Oh, Reese, I know her well.
Dukai.
Yeah, Dukai. Yes. Now that's a cool person. They
That's a cool person.
They're all,
nice.
they are,
Man,
they
I'm
are
honored.
all cool. I trust me. Everybody who's watching is cool. But this person wants to do some Russian horror stories, I think.
Oh,
So translation
I would
of
be so
that.
into that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I keep saying like definitely do that.
Yeah, I love
Finding
sort of
stories.
Slavic folklore and stuff.
Oh, no
like
doubt, yeah.
Polish folklore, Russian folklore. It's amazing. Like, yeah, I would be so down for watching that.
Yeah.
Do it.
Heck yeah.
All right. We'll go up to the list of mine. I swap them around. Sometimes, like today, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do live stream and stuff. I'll get round early. So I was like, I need to find a film that's not 2.5 hours long. So today, I actually watched Maniac. Have you ever seen that with Elijah? I thought it was brilliant.
I loved Maniac. Like, you haven't watched it, have you?
I
We were
think
talking about it the other day.
half of this list, I don't even know what these movies are, but is it like, is Maniacs a sequel to that?
I don't
Like
No,
the
there's
crazies?
not. No.
Nah.
I swear
No,
there's
not
been
at all.
okay.
No.
There's been a lot of like clones of
You-
like the crazies, so
Maniac was an 80s film that got remade, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Elijah Wood one is the one that I've watched, and he's so good in it.
Yeah.
And it's really like unsettling, and like if you're into like true crime and you really like getting into the psychology of like serial killers, it's definitely one for you. And it's just unsettling.
Yeah.
Really unsettling.
It's got that peep show kind of POV.
Yeah.
So you're always looking through the character's eyes, and then you
Right,
catch them in the mirror. You catch them like on the reflection of car bonnets and stuff. It's it's
Yeah,
Is
brutal.
this
highly
the remake or
recommend it.
original or
It's
both?
I
Elijah Wood.
went for the
haven't
remake.
seen the original.
No, neither did I. I felt like watching that one because the trailer looks so good.
Nice.
But yeah, it's something else. It's really brutal. There's a lot of mannequins in there as well. And
like
I've done
brutal.
mannequin stories on my channel.
It's so good. Yeah, we'll watch it. I'll make you watch it.
You're
So.
making
Yeah,
watch
that's-
this. Okay.
That's it, Ghost Fury. Like Maniac, I saw the new one with Frodo as the main character. Yeah,
Do you know what? Elijah Wood is good though.
Yeah.
He does good movies.
He was good at the
Absolutely.
faculty. Seen
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, a long
Yeah.
time ago. I need to watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to like snort cocaine to prove if they're an alien or not. Yeah. it's funny.
Speaking of like Elijah Wood's double, like Dan Radcliffe has been doing some crazy movies. Like full respect to him. Yeah, he's just been like, I'm going to do whatever I want now. And I'm like, you do you, Daniel
He's going to do a Robert Pattinson.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's having a little moment, aren't they? They're getting up there. Oh, yeah. Graphic Nightmares. Great. Thanks for joining. You got to keep your YouTube channel going. I want to see more stories from you. Really good start. Keep it going.
Yeah, we love stories.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So, if I pause there for 1 second, let's see if we can find a question or two to answer.
Just highlight that so we know.
No worries.
Brilliant.
I think I got a question somewhere. I swear to God, it might be on the other community tab at this point, but there might be one right down the bottom.
So I keep scrolling down for you.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh no, you guys just saying nice things. Thank you.
We like nice things.
Yeah.
And we also like horrible things.
Yeah, well.
Was it that one?
Yeah, that's the one. That should have a couple in there. Right. If we go from the bottom up, we'll see what the heck we can answer. Okay, Todd Ellsworth. Todd!
Todd!
Thanks, Todd. What is the worst book and worst horror film or worst... Okay, we got to do one of these at a time. So the worst book and worst horror film or most overrated horror film. Mine is The Woman in Black. Okay, so pick one of those. Yeah.
So, Todd, Woman in Black... have you ever seen the stage show? Because that is amazing.
Yeah, I've heard
the
that's
movie
good.
was trash. The movie was trash. The stage show was brilliant. There's only 3 actors in it. They use like a lot of backlit screens to change the scenery and stuff. But a lot of it is just done with like a trunk, like a big wicker trunk as one of the props. But yeah, absolutely amazing. The people I was in the theatre with like literally screamed when the woman appeared. But it's just such a good play. Like definitely, if you
Todd, get your shit together.
Yeah.
No, well,
if you get a chance to see it,
I think that maybe Todd's just seen the film. Then
I liked I actually liked the movie Woman in Black, but it was age rating 12A here.
Yeah,
and I felt like it should have been a 15.
Yeah, there was some spooky bits in there. Yeah, jump. Like, there was some. I remember one moment. There's a scream that comes out, and it's like real ear shattering. Like, I don't want to see that as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, but was that the overrated one he mentioned, or was that just an example of a?
That's the one he believes is overrated. But do you guys have a film that you think is overrated, or a book that you think is overrated, or a sandwich? I don't even know. Yeah, just something that you think's overrated.
I would say the recent Halloween movies.
Yeah,
overrated, but
I quite like this. Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm being unfair to it because I keep complaining about the Halloween movies. So
you're just on a.
You'll have a chance in a minute because I think he's going to pop up on my list.
Oh wait, I can see on the list.
Yeah. We'll lay in then. An overrated one. I tell you what, I didn't really like the new It that much. I didn't as much because I got so much love for Tim Curry. I'm a bit stubborn. Great. I don't know why. Yeah.
You didn't even know he was the devil in Legend.
Yeah. So he said he joined that film if they did less makeup or something. Yeah. And then look how they made him.
Just because you guys know everything.
No, Tim Curry, absolute legend. I prefer the. I don't know. Like obviously, like the book has some. Some problematic scenes, let's say. Like,
yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. I don't enjoy reading that again.
No.
Yeah. Stephen, what was going on that day? I do not know.
Stephen.
Come on, Steve.
Steve.
I don't know. I guess like remakes of like Let the Right One In. They did Let Me In, which was like the Western remake, and it was awful. But like the original is so good. But again, like the book of that, I think I spoke to you about it last time. There's a certain POV that you don't want to read.
Watch out for that.
I wouldn't recommend the book simply for that. Like you don't want to read it because of that POV. Similar reason to It.
Yeah.
But the movie really good, like the original.
So your overrated one would probably be the remake of that.
Just remakes of like movies, like trying to westernize movies. Especially like horror movies, they don't translate well.
I feel that. Oh, we've got a few more people in the chat. Thank you for joining. Of course, there we have some nice people. Grimmest of Reapers. Sounds deadly. We've got Kat as well, and everybody. Thank you guys. I see your names pop up on my channel a lot, so appreciate you popping over and watching with us. Crikey.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any Raz? Do you have any overrated films? Ones that you just everybody says they're good, but you just don't like?
Again, I keep bringing up Halloween, but there's nothing that I feel like if I was watching it, I'd be like, this isn't scary. Why is everyone saying this is like? That's what I'm thinking of an overrated horror movie that everyone would say that's scary when I would say that's not. But maybe Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Like, but then it depends which audience, like Eastern or Western. You know, because we had this discussion on the previous podcast.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
They I watched it with people in Japan. I said, this film scared the hell out of me in the cinema. And they're like, what? It's scary. The flowers are moving. There's like no ghost. They're so used to seeing a ghost, like in The Ring and The Grudge and stuff. They're like, well, how is this scary?
You said that about Blair Witch as well.
Yeah.
Like, as an adult, like, we're like, we know what's going on. But as a kid, when you watch it, you'll be like, oh my God, you know? So maybe. Yeah. But again, those are two found footage examples, so...
Ghost Are you saying Gremlins is overrated? Because Gremlins is a great Christmas movie.
I do love that.
Even.
Oh, I just got to say hello to two great people quickly. Green Bee, hey, thank you so much. Love when you send me the emails of all your work. Thank you for that. Nictophoria, thank you so much. You've been a big sport for a long time. Really appreciate you watching this. Thank you. Yeah, so we covered that question, I think, pretty well. Aren't we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right, I might need some help on this one. Have you ever played any horror games? Do you play Xbox?
I don't know why that made me horror games, but I don't have an Xbox right now.
I don't have an Xbox either.
I've had an Xbox, but...
We got...
Yeah, I had one as well, yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'm a PlayStation guy. Pretty cool guy. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I've always just historically had PlayStation since the start. But yeah, horror games. I have played. I think my sister got me Until Dawn, and it was amazing.
Oh, I loved Until Dawn.
I really enjoyed it.
It was super fun. I
tried to play the Blair Witch horror game, but it's really hard.
I am with you, but which bits do you remember?
It's like I keep losing my way, and I think that's the purpose of the game. And it's the tapes, and I have to go back and have to try and find out what's happened in the past, and then try and figure out.
Did you play it on release? Because I did, and the game was broken.
Really?
Yeah, it's like there's supposed to be like not like a compass to follow, but there's supposed to be something like a distance to see. And if you're blinded, obviously all you can see is that, but you can't see if there's a wall in front of you. Yeah. So you're like, am I getting closer? Just walking into a wall, you know?
Like into a bush.
Yeah. So, and then they patched it and fixed it, I think, since then. But
God love patches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horror games, this is your whole area, isn't it?
So I guess like Resident Evil, but before I played Resident Evil, which I love, it's one of my favorite series of games.
Phasmophobia. They mentioned Phasmophobia in the chat.
Yay, fans.
Oh yeah, we were playing that the other day.
We were.
Yeah.
I played Dino Crisis before I played Resident Evil, and like I guess like I loved Jurassic Park as a kid. I read the books
so much.
I was like, I'm going to be a paleontologist.
Yeah.
And my teachers were like, you're going to be a what now? But yeah, Dino Crisis was great, the first one, and then the second one was more action. It wasn't really horror. But yeah, Resident Evil, absolutely love. I did like a marathon not too long ago. I think it was like last year. Oh, yeah. And I want to do another marathon potentially and put it up on YouTube because I know so much trivia and stuff. It's just going to be fun.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
But yeah, Resident Evil. I really enjoyed Alan Wake when it first came out.
I tried that one.
Alan Wake?
Yeah, Alan Wake's really fun. Except like the collectibles, like you get obsessed with finding those damn thermos flasks.
Oh,
yeah. But whenever like a street light flickers above me, I'm like, Alan Wake.
Just whip out your flashlight and revolver.
Like the Alien games, like I would say like they kind of fall into horror because you are like stalking and stuff when you're the alien.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's Ghost Shria says Dino Crisis might be coming back.
Ooh.
I will be so grateful. They keep doing all the Resi remakes, which is but then I'm like, where's Dino Crisis? But But yeah, what else? Like Dead Space, I really enjoyed.
Oh, I've had a little go on that once.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, I think that was a long. How many years ago was that?
Many years ago.
I remember you getting chased by the first alien thing, and I was like, "Run, run!" You were like, "Where do I go?" And I said, "Go left." You're like, "Where's left?"
I am poor at games. The only game I play is Skyrim, pretty much, and I still ain't even that good at that. It's just I do about, after I finish all the translation, recording, uploading, I have one day when the video comes out, I do 1 hour or a bit of Skyrim, and I just love it. Just going in a cave, doing something. This time of year, Frostflow Lighthouse would be, if any people know what that is out there, where you got all the, read around all these like books in the lighthouse, and something's happening down there. They can hear noises in the bottom of the lighthouse, and there's monsters and stuff down there. It's the
we could always play games here, you know.
Yeah, that would be alright.
If you want to start a J Nightmares gaming channel, you know.
I'll be happy to pop over. Yeah.
Join us!
Yeah, no, sounds good. Definitely Resident Evil, love that. Alright, should we have a little look at a couple more films? So, the next film I've got is The Blood on Satan's Claw.
I mean, that's a title.
That is a title. That is a title. Now, this is often I try to include ones I've never seen before, and ones that constantly appear on those lists, like Time Out ones, you know, the scariest 100 films of the 21st century and stuff. So this one kept popping up for me, and I've never seen it, and it was 1970s. I believe it's around the time that like Wicker Man and all these kind of pagan films were coming into power, Satanic Panic and all this jazz. So maybe that'll be good. Other than that, I can't say too much about it. I think it nice to include it because of the religion fanaticism stuff. So.
I mean, the title sells itself.
Yeah,
it does.
It's just like, what? That's the title. I have to watch that.
That's kind of like Rosemary's Baby kind of vibe.
You got it. You got it.
And fun fact: Anton LaVey, head of the Satanic Church, played the devil in that movie.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
No way.
So if you guys don't know about the Satanic Church, it doesn't actually believe in Satan as a deity. They don't do devil worship. It's more of like a set of life philosophies. But yeah, Anton LaVey, he was in Rosemary's Baby, so enjoy that fun fact.
Fun fact, Krakatoa.
Yeah. I just did finger guns at the mic, just so you'll know.
That's cool. Let's go for another film. I think everybody must be aware of this one.
I know this one.
You do? All right.
I'm here too.
Raz, you know a movie.
Here we go. Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Any fans? Yeah.
Classic. I think we all are like fans of that here.
See, this is why I put it in, because if you watch so many serious ones, you need a bit of a laugh to break it up.
I love comedy horror.
Same here. Last year, Idle Hands, one of my favorite films.
And I was telling you about one earlier, Killer Pinata.
Yeah,
it's on Prime, Amazon Prime, not sponsored. But go have a look. It's like really sort of cheaply made. Like it's like a bunch of mates just decided to make a corny horror movie with a pinata, and I was just like, me and my friend watched it, and we were just expecting to have it as background, but we were so invested. But,
Nice.
Yeah.
So, did you guys? Shaun of the Dead came out when we were probably just finished school, I guess.
Yeah, like teenagers.
Yeah.
Teenage kind of film, isn't it? I remember that. Any fond memories? Did you go to cinema for that, or did you just watch it at home, or what?
I think I watched that at home.
I think so.
But I think I watched that before Spaced.
Yeah,
which is weird because Spaced gave the idea for Shaun of the Dead, because one of their episodes, his name's Tim, isn't it? In Spaced?
I think so. Yeah,
but Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
he's playing Resident Evil 2.
Space.
Yes,
and I think he's having a weird dream moment where zombies are in his apartment. He's like and so that's what gave the inspiration for Shaun of the Dead.
Actors from Spaced in the movie, so
Nick Frost.
It's just like what would happen if the zombie apocalypse happened in
to everyday people, who aren't like SAS trained and stuff.
In Britain, like that's what would happen. We'd be like, should we go to the pub then?
Just
the Winchester.
Oh, there we go. We've got Fave of the Cornetto trilogy as a question there.
Yes.
How about you guys? I'd say Shaun of the Dead. You know, that's my one.
I would say Shaun of the Dead, but I'm always quoting Hot Fuzz, like always quoting it.
Yeah.
And that one's got Bill Bailey, so.
Yeah.
And we love Bill
Yeah.
Bailey.
We
He's
do.
a,
I'm going to
he's
say
a
Hot Fuzz as
national
well.
treasure. Also, like
that the
whole
guy from
the Point
Game of
Break
Thrones?
thing. Bill Bailey? He's not
No,
in Game of Thrones.
it also had the guy from the Yarp guy in that. It was the
Oh, yeah,
mountain.
he's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hound. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The Hound,
no, the mountain.
yeah.
Yeah, the hound. Yeah.
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 I remember seeing that. And he looks so different. Yeah.
He's like a really nice guy in real life. I've seen him at a
Oh
panel
yeah. I mean,
before.
I wouldn't want to deprive him of a chicken or anything.
And I've forgotten which one, but one of the Bonds is he's the villain.
He'd be hell of a villain, wouldn't
I've
he?
forgotten what his name is now. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's James Bond.
Oh, these guys are mentioned in was it Zombieland there? Yeah, that's a kind of similar.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
Zombieland
isn't it?
was
Yeah.
fun.
The thing is,
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead is obviously very UK
very,
British
like,
humor,
British,
and then
yeah.
Zombieland is very American humor.
Yeah,
so,
nice to have both, to be honest.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then on the 21st of Rocktober, we've got 13 Ghosts.
Which is a classic.
I think so.
I know it gets a lot of hate.
It's a bit
but-
tongue-in-cheek, a bit silly now.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be. I feel
Yeah.
like it was kind of low-key supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's got freaky imagery.
Yeah.
Nice, like that. I love even down to the house that they're in with all like the seals on it. You can
I
see
feel like
through all
the
the walls.
premise was kind of like campy, but it was supposed to be, and
Yeah.
then the ghosts were supposed to be sort of the fear element in it.
Exactly, yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed it.
I loved what I watched it so many times when I was younger, and I loved on the DVD extras there was like a bit of lore behind each.
Yeah,
They're like,
definitely.
this one did this, and he's like this, and then you can click into something on the DVD remote control and learn a bit more about them, and you're like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, I feel like you don't get that so much anymore. It's like the lore,
No,
like,
yeah,
behind
it's just
the scenes
he
stuff.
just does that.
Yeah.
That's just what he does.
I would love more like making of documentaries
Yeah.
to come back, like
Oh, for
Lord
sure.
of the Rings,
Yeah.
for example. Like
Yeah.
the making of that was so good, and like the
Yeah.
Matrix.
Yeah.
and, like they don't really do it for movies nowadays.
Oh, that big 33 bug says, I thought 13 Ghosts was more sad than frightening. Yeah, I see your point, because if you consider the last one, it is quite sad,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
I
a
don't
good-
cry.
No,
I
oh,
never
no.
cry.
No.
Not me!
Never admit to it. And then on the 23rd, we've got Kuru, which is a Japanese film. It wouldn't be any kind of Japanese spooky channel if I didn't include one of those ones.
I
And
think you missed one.
did I miss
Terrifier.
one?
Yeah,
oh, Lord
Terrifier.
have mercy.
We can
Alright,
do it afterwards.
we'll go to Kuru first. So Kuru's a really weird one. I'm gonna have to put the link in the bio, or the comments or whatever, because I think it's not really translated well to the West. I think I haven't seen it in, but what I mean by that is I haven't seen any DVDs, I haven't seen any Blu-rays, I haven't even seen it on streaming services. When I watch it, I gotta do the VPN into Japan, and then I put the subtitles on for English and stuff. Yeah, I'm not even that good.
See, when I saw the title of that,
Yeah.
I thought, is it going to be about like the Kuru virus,
Ah.
which you obviously get from
Yeah.
eating brains?
Oh, that's really smart, actually. That could have been
I
a
thought,
good-
oh, is that to do because it would make sense because
Yeah.
that's the title.
But Kuru is come, so it
Yeah.
it kind of like the same title as It Follows. Like
Yeah.
it comes, it's there, it's coming. Yeah, It Comes is probably not the best English title for
What
Put
kind
on your
of
3D
movies have you
glasses,
been
it's
watching?
coming.
it. Yeah, that one's definitely an 18 rated one.
What kind of list is this?
Yeah, It Comes is my favorite. No, it's not.
It's a poster. It comes.
Yeah, I think that's why they went with Kuru.
Yeah.
So we'll do one more, and then we'll go back, hop into some questions, and see how you're going. The one of the other ones, I have never seen this film. It's called Terrifier.
Nope.
It's about
Yeah,
this.
I've not seen it.
The second one that they brought out is apparently so gross and gore filled. It's making people leave the cinema.
Oh, really?
It's about this clown. Like, it's called Art the Clown. It's
I've
like,
seen the clown.
yeah,
but I've
he
not
looks
seen the film.
creepy as. Yeah. I haven't seen the film. I think it was I think it wasn't hugely like budgeted and stuff. It was quite low low
Sometimes
budget.
like the low budget ones are the best.
I know,
though.
yeah, when they have a good idea,
Like
like
Possum.
Maniac, like this. Oh,
Possum.
I love
Possum,
Possum.
yeah.
That was on the list last year, by the way.
Oh,
Possum,
Oh my
love Possum,
god,
yeah.
you love Possum.
Good film.
We're like full on Possum.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, hail the
Great
possum.
yeah. I kind of want to make a Possum
That's another.
plushie.
You know what? That's another one where they have a bit of like lore to it, like little rhymes and stuff, little drawings in it. Like, where did all
See,
that go?
What
I
if
like
someone
all that.
cosplayed as Sean Harris in the film? Would they get it, or would they be like, "There's some weirdo just stood around in a trench coat and
I mean,
just
if
pulling
they
the old
had,
face?"
mannequin with.
I mean, if they had like a replica
If they had the possum, yeah, but if it was just Sean, the
Yeah.
Sean Harris look.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that Terrifier looks pretty good. I thought it would be a nice little one to chuck in. Right, let's hop back to a question or two. If anybody's seen that film, by the way, please drop it in the chat. Alrighty.
Oh, there's a.
Yeah, there's, I think it's because I said it comes or whatever. We had some spicy links in the chat there, guys.
We
Don't
need
click
to make
those.
like a mock poster for that.
Yeah, don't be clicking on those.
Yeah.
We're just talking horror films. So, where are you from originally, and why did you move to Japan? I'm from South England. You can tell it quite easily by my voice. Some people think I'm from Ireland. Some people think I'm from America, and some people think I'm from Japan. I'm from South England, real South England, and why did I move to Japan? I used to work at the cinema, and I watched a Japanese film. It was a scary film, and I always wanted to go see what Japan was like. One of my friends said, "You want to go there? Why?" And I was like, "Well, why not?" And he was like, "I'll go with you." I was like, "Yeah, okay, great. Should we actually just save up and do something for once in our goddamn lives?" And then I was like, "Yeah, we'll save up and we'll do it." We saved up all our money, living at home, parents and stuff. Good opportunity to go see a bit of the world. I went over there, and I couldn't understand half of what people were saying, even though I did try. And I was like, I want to know what these guys are saying. I want to be able to just enjoy it more the next time I went. So I went to university, and I did a bit of Japanese, and I did like studying for that, and then after I did my year abroad after graduating, went to live over there, and then I really enjoyed it. And I moved there because I don't know, I just really liked Japan. It's not like I like anime or manga or anything. I don't know what it is. I like spookiness of that country. Really am obsessed with it. And a lot of their things appeal to me, like you can drink on the street. Yeah, no particular reason. I think I was just bored of my hometown.
Yeah, apparently you're not allowed to eat and walk, or
No.
walk and eat in public because
Yeah,
they
and
feel
smoke.
like you're gonna drop your trash or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and you'll be messy.
You can't.
So,
Yeah, they don't want smoking and walking, because if you think about the level you hold a cigarette when you're walking, you don't
Yeah.
hold it close to your mouth. You hold it down by your side, and they think a child could get burned by a cigarette.
I
So-
mean, they could.
It's right. Yeah, I
They're
think it's a
they
nice.
might be wearing highly flammable clothes. They
could-
go up in flames.
they
Everybody
could be wearing
screams.
Heelys and just roll right
Yeah.
into it.
You know, it could get on your clothes. It could do whatever. So I love that they have. This is why I found Japan so interesting. They have so many societal rules and so many societal little things, prompts and stuff to make sure that everybody is just keeping an eye on each other. I did a
Yeah,
story
yeah.
on my last video called One, where it's about a scary thing that just watches you. And if you keep doing something bad, this thing with a white face will just watch you until you stop doing the thing that's bad. And then the other things like yokai is like a series of folklore, like fairy kind of goblin guys. They have one where it's if you play by the river, this monster will shoot his arm out of the river, grab your intestines out of your bum, out of your butthole, and rip it out of you. Because
That's a very Japanese.
I know!
So if you,
I
want
know,
someone,
like-
if you really want someone
Yeah.
to not go somewhere, you tell them that story.
That monster's gonna
Yeah.
get you, and he's gonna get. So stop playing by the river, goddamn! You can just tell that, like, some parents probably have said to their kid, "Stop playing by the river 10
Yeah.
times." Right, I've just got to do something else. Right, okay, your intestines are gonna come out your backside.
Think of the most craziest thing to make him
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go there, born of stuff like that. I just want to figure. I still don't know, but I wanted to figure out why the hell they do stuff like that. Yeah, Nick's,
the
Nick's for you.
kappa.
The kappa, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Dead on. Well done to you. Oh, Kat, you're planning to go to Japan, study abroad. Any advice? Yeah. Get out and enjoy it. I never really enjoyed my time in Japan until I got a part-time job. I used to go to class, speak to my mates in English, then go home, watch English TV shows, listen to English music, and I didn't do anything. And then I'd be like, why am I not good at Japanese yet? I got a job at a bar, and I didn't have any place to hide, and I was just like, yo, if this guy's asking me a question at the bar, I've just got to try my best to answer it. And they're nice. They're going to be patient, and you're going to do well if you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think like it's like that with any language. Like I started learning sign language, and the person I was learning with, we worked together, but she was reassigned to a different like location, so we didn't have anyone to practice with, so it just like dropped off.
Yeah.
But I think anything, you need to converse with other people in that language, otherwise you're not going to learn it properly.
For sure.
Whereas I'm learning every language that exists.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm weird.
Oh, good for you, man. Give it a go. Get out there. Polygot. Into polygamy.
Yeah.
I saw you guys in the chat saying about Cabin Fever. Such
That's
a
a good
good
one.
movie.
Yeah,
I love
I
the
like that.
the leg shaving scene. So good.
But do you have it on DVD? Or
I
did. You have
did.
it? Did you have the
somewhere,
Rotten
yeah.
Fruit episode on there? Please tell me you did.
I can't remember it. No.
So Eli Roth did a claymation of,
Yeah.
of a band
Oh,
that's
yeah.
of fruits.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
so have you seen
Yeah,
it?
I
and
have.
it's so
Rings a bell.
gory, it's amazing. I'll find it and show it
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
Oh,
And it's
sounds good.
hilarious.
Do you know what? They're going back to Until Dawn. You know the bit in Until Dawn where it's like, are you going to shoot the squirrel? I was like, oh my god, is this Cabin Fever?
Yeah,
right now?
yeah. Of course. Oh my god. Oh, I got one question. Jay, have you been to the forest in Japan? You know which one? Yeah, I have. Yeah.
We know about the forest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aokigahara. Yeah, I have been to the edge of it, and it was really late at night. I got off the wrong station. I wanted to see Mount Fuji, and we were on the way back. That was the friend I made at the cinema who went over there with me. I don't recommend in the dead of night.
I would love to go.
Creepy, very, very creepy. Yeah, but I didn't go in.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of, if you guys have watched Princess Mononoke,
Love
you'll
that.
know that like the forest is based.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You'll find a lot of that on this channel. Lots of spirits and belief in the gods of the forest. They say
Yeah.
they always call them gods, even if it's something small. Like I did a story recently. It was about this kid who found weird looking bugs,
Yeah.
and the bugs were just there in the forest. And then they were like, "Oh, don't pick those bugs. They belong to the god." Because they
Yeah.
look different.
I
they
really
put
like
a lot of
cultures that
faith
have
into
like
things.
very small gods, like, and that's why I really quite like the
Microscopic
old
gods.
Japanese Microscopic
Squish them.
gods.
Yeah, I went to a shrine in Japan where that like the plate is the kind of source of
Yeah.
the power and like spirituality. So that's cool.
Yeah, I've been to some temples and it was the most quietest place ever. They don't even have planes flying over the
Yeah.
area. It's just that peaceful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll do one more question. This one might be good for you guys as well. Do you speak any other foreign languages? Have you any knowledge of history of different countries, maybe cultures? And that comes from Dukai. And yeah, it's difficult to pronounce the second name because it's like pixelated. I know your name.
Yeah.
You always pop up on my channel. Thank you for that. I started learning Chinese when I was younger. I don't know why. I just thought it looked hard. I can remember some stuff from that. When I was in America, you'd call it like, what's that? Primary school in America, you call it like
Kindergarten.
kindergarten. Yeah, or
I love how you said that in like an American
Kindergarten.
accent.
Garden.
when I was a kindergarten, I tried my best to learn American. No, I tried my best to learn German. I think it was because one of the teachers at school said like, "Oh, can you say a word in another language?" And I was like, "I'll go home and make sure I can next time I see you." And then I did, and then I kept getting that positive reinforcement, and I was like, I was loving it. I think that's where it all comes from, because I had some positive reinforcement as a kid.
Yeah.
Psychoanalyzed myself a few times. As for culture, most, I don't know if you can class this, but a lot of my family has Welsh ties. I like Wales. It's good.
Oh, Wales has some really cool like
Yeah.
folklore and stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's like a really cool one about Taliesin, and he was like a student to a witch. But yeah, like Welsh folklore's super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I should check out some more then. So, how about you guys? You guys are learning some languages, right?
I'm really bad at learning languages. I don't have the brain for it. We're trying to learn Icelandic at the moment.
Oh, very cool.
But I just I remember like words that I like the sound of. Like, I've got some Romanian friends. I can swear real good in Romanian. I won't do it on here.
No.
But yeah, I remember like random things in Romanian, like kokosh is like a male chicken. And I can say ucigaș de găină, which is killer of the chickens in Romanian.
How about that?
There's a story behind that. And then, yeah, I just pick up words that I like the sound of. And remember that. But
yeah.
history of different countries, cultures, I absolutely love that. I really like ancient history. I looked into a lot of sort of African cultures. Obviously Egypt is like a big one, but there were so many other really advanced cultures in Africa. And they just don't teach it in Western schools, but it's so much more interesting.
Sounds good.
And like mythologies, like love mythologies and like religious stories from all different creeds and cultures. I just find it really interesting. I love seeing like the overlaps. But yeah, like I think it comes from my love of mythology and then history. Like I really got into, like I really like Mongolian history.
Cool.
Read a lot of historical fiction books as well, and yeah, just love it. So.
And for me, I just like to learn as many languages as possible, and I just can't really stick to one except for Icelandic right now because we're planning to go there.
That would be
next year
so
or something.
cool.
So that's like a reason to do it.
Always wanted to go there.
I can't remember how I got interested in it because I was never interested in it at school whatsoever. But I think it was just like, oh, I'm going to this country. I might as well learn hello, goodbye, thank you, just the basics. So Spanish was what I started on. And then maybe from there, it was just like, oh, if you found Spanish easy, try Italian, try French, you know, all the Romance languages. And then I do that, and then it just opens up all these other countries and history of other languages for me. Even like, we mentioned Lord of the Rings earlier, and they've got the Mordor Black speech.
Yeah,
and
you really want to learn that.
Annoyingly, obviously, the language is not
tough.
even, the language is not finished. You can't really learn it. You can't have a conversation in it, but because it exists, I'm like, I want to learn it. just like Elvish as well. Like, even though I don't know anyone that speaks Elvish at all, or
it'd just be fun.
There's High Valerian from Game of Thrones
Wow,
on Duolingo, so I'm just learning it because it's there. So yeah, that's me. I just love languages, and yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Love that. Just gotta say bye to Grimmest of Reapers. Thanks for joining us. Chucking in some good questions and your movies. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, some good comments about Iceland. I really hope you enjoy it. I think there's a cool band from Iceland you might like called Solstifer. They have some real good tunes. I'll have to link it.
Lord?
Yeah, I think Eurovision Song Contest got it time. Yeah, I remember
I
that.
still want to see, like, not from Iceland, but like the Ed Sheeran Cradle of Filth. Team up. Like,
I love that.
I just saw it and I was like, are they going to just dress him up as a troll? Like, what are they going to do?
Or is he just going to sing in the background?
Yeah,
like,
I'm really
scream.
keen to...
Oh, okay. So we'll do one more question. We got one more from Reese Deemer, who has also been a big follower for a long time, often posting wonderful comments. Thank you so much. So favorite beer? Well, it's just too many to name. I just love beer. I love beer more than anything.
I'm more of a cider man.
Cider man, yeah. Spider.
There's some good Swedish cider out there, like Kopparberg.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, I wonder if they can get that halfway. Do you reckon that's in the States or I don't know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen it in movies or anything. But my favorite beer is probably, I don't know why, but Heineken. It's nice. There was a really good one in England called Blonde Witch. And I thought,
that sounds cool.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, the bottle was really cool as well. It was like halfway between an ale and a beer. And I thought, oh, it's just going to be a kind of gimmicky kind of thing, just a bottle with a mad label. But tasted so nice. It used to be in Morrison's, but they discontinued it, so that's a shame.
See, I have a feeling that you have to really explore more of Europe or the US to find good beer.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like, no offense to around here, but I'm just like, I'm not a big fan of beer.
Yeah.
Like, is that all beers or is it just local?
You would think that we would get loads because we're in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
really.
was like on Hannibal, the Hannibal TV show, he made like beer that was like in a wine barrel, and I was like, I wonder if that tastes like good. Like,
Yeah.
to be
Oh,
fair,
could
like
do, yeah.
anything Hannibal cooks on that show or like makes, you're just like, I want that, even if it's people.
Oh, they have Heineken in Australia. Well, I'm booking a flight.
Riley. Nice.
Okay, let's go back to some movies, shall we? So,
Oh wait, no, that one.
we've got one called Vacancy. Don't know if you ever heard this one. It's Luke Wilson. Owen Wilson's brother.
Wow.
Yeah. That is so stressful to me. That basically this couple have to get a hotel. Been on the road all day in America, whatever. You get in one of those motels in the middle of nowhere.
I think I've seen the trailer for
Yeah,
it.
I've seen the trailer, but I haven't seen it. But
Yeah.
Kings loves it. So
Definitely.
yeah.
Like, they soon discover, it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, that there's cameras in the room. And the guy pops in a tape, and all of a sudden these people come out of the shadows. And they're like, that's going to happen to us in about 5 seconds. And if we don't do something, that's kind of where the trailer leaves you. And that film stressed me out to no end. It's real.
Is it hard to watch?
I hesitate to say the word fun, but I mean, there's some redemption, there's some bleak moments as well. It's just a bit of a roller coaster. I really recommend. It's a short, nice 90-minute, and
Okay.
So it's worth a
really
watch.
get the
Yeah.
blood
I was
pumping.
wondering why
Yeah.
it was on the list then. If,
Yeah,
if it was
yeah.
that stressful.
Ah, you got it. See, this is the human horror I'm putting in now. So once you have a bit of once you have a bit of ghosts and you have a bit of that, you need something like a real threat, like someone could bash down the door.
The
or
real
something.
monster was human the whole time.
Yeah, the monsters was us. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a stressful film. That's a cool one.
Nice.
Now on the 25th we got Demons. See, straight after, go back to paranormal or the whatever. Demons is a real kind of I don't know how to describe it. It's like an 80s film where it's like a Goosebumps episode that just happens for adults.
Love that.
So like there's these demon things, they come to a house party, and as my recollection, sometimes I'm waiting to see what's going to happen myself. If I can remember it properly. But like these demons just come and get you at a house party. Really weird, really kind of tongue-in-cheek, cliche kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm
So
down for
yeah,
that.
just definitely chuck it out there. Oh, and then I think I might have to get you guys' opinion on this one. I'm going to check out Halloween Ends.
I've not watched it.
No, it came out on the 14th, so we've only had a couple.
Yeah, it's only been out a few days.
So I'm putting it the day after payday for me,
Yeah.
so I can not feel terrible about wasting my money.
So did you watch Halloween Kills?
I did,
then?
yeah. I didn't
you
mind
like
it.
it.
I didn't
Okay.
mind it too much. I thought the guy in the mental asylum, that was a cool point of the film, like when they mistook him for Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And then you have that whole like, no, you got me feeling something. It wasn't just stabbing and slashing and all that. It was like, oh no, this is like the madness of a town taking on somebody else. But
Yeah.
overall, I mean, it was kind of ridiculous. It was
Yeah.
kind of like, well, you can just stab him as many. He just doesn't die. And I mean, like, yeah,
I mean, I was
great.
saying, like, he's got to be so old now.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be, like, with a Zimmer frame and a knife.
You do see, like, tufts of white hair coming out of his mask
Yeah.
at some
Well,
point.
that's what I was thinking. Like, how is he going to die?
yeah.
Like, of old age?
Yeah.
Or is his heart going to stop? You know?
It's
like,
is he even a thing?
I'll
Cause-
keep
shape.
chasing you forever.
because obviously, like, we watched a video the other day that explains, oh, there's so many different time zones,
very
and they've
convoluted.
had to go back and remove things from the lore. So
Yeah.
this is it now. So it's like, okay, that's cool. So if we're going straight from Halloween to the 2000, what was the first?
I think it was like 2018.
Yeah, 2018 Halloween. So if we're going from the first original to that, from there, it's just like, okay, cool, but how is he going to die? He
Yeah.
he's-
Yeah.
How do
So,
we fix this?
so
Yeah.
no matter what, like, if he does die, because this is called Halloween Ends, no one's going to be happy about it. Like, oh, he slipped on the banana peel. Oh, he had a heart attack. Like, oh, he was electrocuted, beheaded, stabbed,
Yeah, yeah.
shot. Like, nothing's killed him.
It's not going to be the way that everybody wants
Yeah,
it to
so
be.
no matter
Yeah.
however he dies, no one's going to be happy about it, because they're going to be like, really? Unless it is old age or dies in his sleep, what's it called, that sad
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, SAD. You
Uh,
know.
Seasonal
Yeah,
affective disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just needs Halloween. That's all
Like-
it needs. Yeah.
Or does he
He
become
struggles in summer.
good? And he smiles at the end like Frankenstein's monster, like, you
That'd
know?
be nice. Yeah.
Like, I just don't think, like, I've already heard people that have seen it just don't like it, so I just don't think they're happy about it. Like,
Yeah.
about
I
how
feel
it
like
ends.
obliged to watch.
I want to
but
watch it. I've been a follower of Halloween films for a long time. I like them.
I'm staying away from it.
I kind
You
of
can
feel
spoil
like
it
at
to me all
some
you
point
want.
you've got to be like, it's not going to be good, but I'm just going to watch it because, and then
Yeah.
you go into it with like no expectations, and like maybe there's a few bits that you're like, oh, that was cool, or like funny bits that you just laugh at. Like the Resident Evil movie, like the newest one, Welcome to Raccoon City. It was awful. But because I went with like a friend and we're both
Yeah.
big Resident Evil fans, we were like laughing. We're like, "Where's Barry?" And like there was a guy sat next to us in the screening, and he was just like laughing at everything we were like whispering to each other. Like he became an honorary member of our cinema going group.
That's good.
The only good thing about that movie was like the set design, which was spot on.
That's cool. It's nice to notice stuff like that. Big Bug says, I suggest streaming Halloween Ends instead of spending the money in the theater. Yeah. Well, yeah. If I don't know how to do that.
I'm just not going to watch it and let people tell me what happens. Just so I could be
Yeah.
like, I knew it!
Yeah, Big Bug. I couldn't even do my own live stream. I don't think I've got the facilities for that, big man.
So I've got a cinema membership card thing, so I can see as many movies as I want. So yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, now you guys must know one of these. Hereditary.
Yeah, I've watched
I know what it is, and I think I
Yeah.
know what happens anyway, but I haven't seen it, so
It
yeah.
was a bit of a roller coaster. Really. I went to watch it at the cinema.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And
Good.
and like for the most part, I really enjoyed it. I thought the acting, like the son, like I can't remember, was it Peter? I can't remember his name. Whatever his name was, his acting was like all over the place. Like there was some bits where he was
Kings is in the
amazing.
chat.
Oh, hey, Kings. You should be here with us, buddy.
Our
Yeah.
adopted son.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like he had like bits where he's really good at acting, like in the car when he like stops and then he just drives home. Like it's a really realistic portrayal of like the shock
Yeah.
of what happened. But then in other parts it was just like comedic.
Right, yeah.
His acting. But like overall I loved it.
Yeah.
And then like the last like bit with like the ritual and everything, it just went, it felt like I was watching a different movie at the end. But I did really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since that must have come out like 2018
I've
or
watched
something.
it a few times now just because I wanted to rewatch it. And it was less jarring with the ending being so different to the rest of the movie because you see the things that you missed the first time around.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, it's one I want to rewatch because I can't.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to see
rewatch
how
it.
I feel about it the second time. I know some people absolutely hate it, but you know.
They hate it?
Yeah,
Is it because it's so different, though?
I think it's there's not much
Well, it
love for
came
it
out,
in some quarters online.
What was the one with Florence Pugh? Why can't I remember the name of it? You know, why can't I remember?
I
Let's
don't-
Google it.
Hold up!
But yeah, like, I've heard that
Somebody
it's very...
help me out in the chat.
I've heard it's very, like, makes you uneasy and it's disturbing. But and I've been told what happens in it anyway, so I can see why. And to me, that sounds like a very different kind of horror. Like,
Midsommar. But like,
Midsommar, yeah.
It kind of, it had like some of the same feels as that, but not. I preferred Midsommar. But yeah, Hereditary felt like a completely different. Like the ending felt like it was just slapped on the end.
Right.
And it was a completely different tone to the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it right up until the ending, and I was like, okay, but like, where was the setup? Whereas with Midsommar, it builds through the whole movie.
Yeah.
but yeah, Hereditary, it was just a little bit jarring, like how different the ending was.
Yeah, like for me, I'm looking forward to seeing it again after the first time watching it. I think it was good at the start. At least it had something kind of newish, and it wasn't just like a remake.
Yeah,
and it was,
definitely.
there was like this godly kind of evil thing. I was looking forward to seeing that.
Yes, Kat, that was what I was trying to.
Summer.
Yes, well
that's
done,
the
Kat.
one I was trying to remember, and I don't know why it disappeared from
Always
my
count on
head.
Kat. So we've got a couple more, but let's dive back into some questions quickly.
Questions.
So will you be on camera, hun? No. Sorry. Not yet. One day. What horror trope is your favorite, e.g. occult, gore, paranormal? I'd probably say like the religious fanaticism kind of stuff. I don't know why, but there's something so terrifying to me about
Like mob
cults.
mentality,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Even in films like The Mist, where they
Yeah.
just band together and they just believe in some idea, like, yeah, we're doing this now. That is frightening. Like the influence that people can have on others, especially if you couple that with religion and power, people in status, people in power. That frightens me more than like the appearance of a ghost at some point. But having said that, some of my favorite films do have ghosts in them, so it's a tricky one.
Cults are like really interesting. Like obviously there's in real life there's like obviously the Jonestown massacre. There's a lot of examples, but there was one that I heard about recently, again from one of my fave true crime channels. And it was like in London, like in like I don't know if it's central London, but it was in London, and there's this whole cult going on and nobody knew about it until a girl escaped. She was 30 years old when she escaped.
Whoa.
And she was born into this cult. There was like a lot in it.
That sounds scary.
But yeah, she basically the leader of the cult and the cult members told her that there were people after them. If she went outside, they would kill her. They would find her with like lasers or something and kill her. And obviously because she'd been told that since she was born, like she believed it. It was a really crazy story. I can't remember the name of the leader of the cult, but it was really brutal. If you just like search London cult, you'll probably find it. But one of the things they did to this baby was like, the leader said, oh, you can't show her any affection or any love. It's just like basic. Like they barely spoke to her.
Wow.
And that was from when she was like born pretty much. But yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it, but if you guys just look up London cult held captive for 30 years, I'm sure it will come up.
Cults are yabai. Yabai is like crazy or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I love like the psychological horrors that you think like A Tale of Two Sisters. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
So it's like you're like, is it psychological horror or is it supernatural? And it keeps you sort of on that for, like most of the way through. I really enjoy that.
I once did a video on my channel for cult stories from Japan. So I go to lots of different places and find true accounts of what people say. Allegedly true. I mean, I gotta put faith in their opinion, but there's some. I wade for about 50 before I choose one, honestly, because I want to find ones that are actually sounding real. So when I did the cult ones, there was some that were so frigging disturbing.
Yeah.
I had to turn off like the laptop and just chill out for a bit. Cult stuff is just
there was one
really
called
frightening.
The Anthill Kids. That was really like messed up. But yeah, cults, man.
I haven't gone back to the cults yet. I mean, there's some creepy stuff out there, especially in Japan. Okay, so favorite folk story from England. That's a kind of tough one to answer for me.
There's a random like Black Beast one where
yeah,
you know,
that
in
might
the
be my
70s where
favorite.
rich people owned like exotic animals.
Yes.
Like
someone,
the Beast of Bodmin Moor.
someone had like a black
yes.
panther, like a
Yeah.
And
I was super into that as a kid.
Yeah.
and obviously later on it was illegal to own them, so I
They're
think
big
the
cat
owner just
law.
released it into the wild.
Yeah.
So
In 1972, there was a big I think it's 1972. There's a big cat law where you're not allowed to keep a tiger in a garage in England for some reason. Don't know why it took to 1972 to get there, but it did. And then people.
I thought you were going to be like, why is that illegal? I want a tiger in
Yeah,
my
I know.
garage.
I've got a garage. I want to have some sort of leopard in there.
Yeah.
But like, instead of paying penalties and paying for the animals or releasing them to good habitat, they just let them out.
Yeah.
And a lot of, you guys know, a lot of England is
Rural.
open,
Yeah,
rural,
yeah.
lots of forestry, lots of stuff like that. So these big cats, like you say, Raz, were spotted outside.
Yeah.
There were like cows turning up, all chewed up and
Yeah.
stuff.
Sheep.
Yeah. Sheep.
And then
being mauled.
you said you knew one about, was it Bodmin?
Yeah, the Beast of Bodmin
Yeah.
Moor.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
like one of like the Black
I remember that when I
Panther.
was young.
Yeah, and there were like pictures and stuff. And like as a kid, I was like, oh my god, I want to
Yeah.
find it. And my parents were
Like-
like, okay.
I know that's
Yeah.
I know that's not really folk, but then it's like, are they still out there? We don't know. Like,
Yeah.
was it the panther killing those sheep? We don't know. Like, it's a beast.
Exactly, yeah, it's frightening.
Yeah, I really like sort of. I really like the sort of Arthurian myths, like the Celtic myths from England. Oh, nice. Yes.
Yeah, Cat, you're near Bodmin. That must be frightening.
It's gone creeping through your window. Don't know why I said it like that.
Snatching your people up.
But yeah, I really
Try
like
to
sort
run,
of,
try
a
to
lot of
hide.
like the folk stories in England are like, don't stand in the ring of mushrooms or the fairies will take you away, stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah, I've heard stuff like that.
Yeah, Hound of the Baskervilles, Sherlock Holmes, yes.
No doubt.
That was one of my favourite Sherlock Holmes stories, actually. But yeah, it's very. It's a lot of it's like I like the Arthurian myths and legends and like the Celtic myths.
Yeah.
Like the one I mentioned earlier, that's like a Welsh one. That's really cool.
We have a lot of them. I was thinking of doing something like that for Halloween. I wanted to do some English stories. I always do Japanese stories, but I never do anything from England. So it'd be cool to do something like that one day.
Well, I can't think of many ghost ones, really.
No, I see them pop up. Like when I go on other people's channel, they send me stories, and I'm like, wow, I never knew about that. There's
There's
some
some
cool
in like
little ones.
Scottish castles. I know
Yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like England.
There's a lot of like the lady in like the white dress haunting
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tower, that kind of thing. But it's like very like Victorian Gothic sort of things, like Mary
Yeah.
Shelley's Frankenstein.
No doubt.
Yeah.
the invention of the photograph, and then all these ghosts
Yeah.
started appearing.
But yeah.
And then like the death portraits as well in Victorian
Memento
times.
Mori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when they pose with a dead corpse, but it's all like
Yeah.
got makeup on and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but God,
And you can tell because they were perfectly still, but the people that are alive are slightly blurred because they've moved.
Yeah.
we have quite a lot of great writers from England about spooky
Make him fold
things.
his leg. You just hear the bone snap. Like,
Kat
Yeah.
says she's like Liam Neeson. She's prepared for the Beast of Bodmin. I love her.
So,
family.
so we have. I had no, it's alright. No, it's okay. What is your favorite place in Japan? Saitama. It's the worst. It's named as Dasaitama, which Dasai in Japanese means like lame. So Saitama, Dasaitama. They think it's basically the suburbs for people who live in Tokyo who don't want to live in Tokyo. I lived there and I loved it. It was my favorite place ever. It's it's hilarious how much it's hated. Then that's pretty much my favorite place over there. I also am a big fan of Osaka, and Tokyo too. Do you have a favorite horror book or author? Yeah, Stephen King probably. Although a lot of he's hit
He's
and
a
miss
book
sometimes.
machine.
Yeah, he's hit and miss sometimes. I like Junji Ito for Japanese stuff, and my favorite horror book. One of my favorite short stories is by Daphne du Maurier called The Doll, and it really, really creeped me out. It's about this woman who meets this guy, and she has this like weird mechanical doll, and she plays the violin. It's just I don't know
That
what it
sounds
was.
creepy.
Yeah, and she just goes into the room with it, and it's odd.
Silly question. Does Stephen King still write? Because
Yeah.
Yep.
I have no idea. Like, I don't know
Book
if
came
it's
out
the
last
last thing
month.
he
Keeps
wrote.
going.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
month Fairy Tale came out. Ties into a lot of the old stuff like It and things like that.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd like a lot of.
I really like sort of the Bram Stoker's Dracula was amazing.
Yes.
It was just written in such a cool way. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I love sort of the old school ones. Obviously Stephen King, I've read quite a lot of. But there was a really good one I read, and it's called The Final Girls Support Group.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And yeah, it's so good.
Maybe
it's
from you.
by Grady Hendrix, and he writes kind of like 90s fun horror novels. They recently turned one of his novels into a Amazon movie, and it's called My Best Friend's Exorcism. But yeah, Final Girl Support Group was so good. It's basically, he thought, well, all of these people, these girls, like, they survive their serial killer, but what happens afterwards? Like, they're gonna need therapy. So the main character's part of one of these support groups, and then someone starts killing off final girls. And it's like so 90s slasher movie.
Jallo,
it's just so much fun. It's great. And even, I'm really bad for like guessing twists. Like I get them like straight away, and it's awful. I hate it. Because I want to be surprised, but this one had me like, wait, am I right? Am I? And I was. But they had me questioning there. But yeah, if you want something that's kind of like fun, Scream kind of vibes, definitely read it. It was like a really fun book to read. And it's a bit different to what you would normally think. Oh, a horror book. But this one was more of a fun horror. But yeah,
good.
Very 90s slasher. I loved it.
I don't have a favorite horror book because the last horror book I read was a Goosebumps one. I think a kiss turned into a bee, but
Goosebumps is great.
That can be your
yeah, but I
choice.
don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's not exactly my favorite. But what I do love reading or knowing about are the original scripts of certain horror movies.
Oh,
like
that's cool.
The Alien ones especially. Cause
Screenplays and stuff.
I swear the Aliens scripts are way better than like the Prometheus film we got and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna
That's cool.
go too long about that. But yeah, that's why I like reading.
You're not going to rant about that.
No. Yeah, I've already ranted about Halloween. If the thing is in your list, I'm going to rant about that as well.
Oh, it was last year. It was. I don't ever watch the same films twice, because you got to give let it breathe or whatever. Let it have a
No, rant! Let it out!
So we'll do one more question, I guess. So we'll do, what's your favorite snack? Bye. What is your favorite snack?
Go on.
Don't look at me like that.
You're not seeing the mad eye contact I've just seen. Yeah. So this is weird. I will eat cucumbers all the time. At any one time in my fridge, I have chopped up cucumbers in a like a cup, like a mug.
Cucumber's good though.
I love it. It's something about the crunchiness. Yeah,
and
I don't get enough water probably. That's why I eat that. Yeah, love it.
You're like a vampire, but you drink cucumbers.
I am the vampire of
The
cucumbers.
cucumber vampire.
I guess noodles for me.
Noodles.
That counts as a snack,
Yeah, I guess so. It's not a main meal exactly, I guess. Unless you have a real posh one.
Yeah, I just like cycle through. Like, I'm really into a certain food for ages, and I'm like, time to move on. So,
yeah. I'm a big popcorn fan too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet popcorn.
Yeah, if anybody offers it me, I'm
God,
gonna have
sweet.
Well, I do
I'm
like
sweet and salty.
I like baking things, so I guess, but that's more for like other people. So I made sweet rolls. We were talking about that earlier. They tasted amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they looked so good. Yes, cucumbers
I've just
in
seen
the chat. Yes.
Cucumbers in the chat.
An ominous little emoji there.
Ominous.
That's going to be your YouTube profile picture now. It's the cucumber. Jay Knight versus cucumber.
Confirmed Jay Nightmares.
The killer cucumber story.
Cucumber vampire.
Well, at least people are not calling me Jimmy, because on my channel, this guy I work with called Papa Scare, he's a real, he's a good mate of mine. But he always calls me Jimmy because it's Jay. He doesn't know my name. And I take spoiler alert, I ain't called Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah, exactly. I ain't having it.
Jimmy Nightmares. Imagine.
If he ever pops, he might
Can
pop
we see
in and
some
watch it.
ID?
Yeah.
Hey there, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You got any more of them there nightmares for us?
Jimmy!
Yeah, I call myself Jimmy. Yeah, I set up the channel. All right, now let's go to the final couple of the films for the end of the goddamn Halloween.
Yeah.
So, on the 28th of October, Spooktober, Rocktober, whatever. We're going to do 28 days later.
Nice.
In
the
that,
28th,
alright? Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did
Whoa!
there.
Yeah, you know. 28 days later. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
love
think? Yeah.
So
Love it.
good. So good.
I think
10
it's a
out
good
of 10. Amazing.
I've purposely not watched it for about 5 years, I think.
Ooh,
So it
yeah.
should be real fresh.
It's like another perfect example of
Yeah.
like Doctor Who actors making great villains as well.
But would you like more days or weeks?
Days.
I think
I
it's the
prefer.
first.
I like
Yeah.
both in their own way, but the first does feel more horror to me.
Yeah.
Like the start of weeks, yeah, definitely horror.
Yeah, yeah.
But then
Yeah.
I think later on it's just just zombies in the end,
It's-
you know?
It's like the
Well, quote unquote zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like the Dawn of the Dead ones. The the first Dawn of the Dead in the 70s is real cool, but the second Dawn of the Dead, the way it starts, a little girl and all infections, and all of a sudden they're running at you instead of walking at you.
Yeah.
I love
Like the
them both
fast
for what they are.
zombies,
Yeah.
like, and they do it so well.
The acrobats and everything, just parkouring everywhere, jumping and flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28 days later, like, there was nothing like it at the time as well. It was very, like in Western cinema anyway. Yeah, such a good movie.
Oh, Kat, you have no one to bake for, so sadly you don't do. Well, we'll set up a PO box.
Yeah! Send us
Sweet
treats.
rolls.
Yeah, it was another zombie. Yeah, to be honest with you, Dukai, I'm not big on the whole zombie thing. I don't know.
But they're infected,
Yeah.
but still
Yeah.
it counts as a zombie film, so
It's a really weird thing.
there's
with,
a rage virus. Yeah.
Yeah.
with Japan, they love Resident Evil. They love stuff like that. But when you die in Japan, you're usually cremated. So they don't have this image of zombies rising from the grave to
yeah.
attack you. So they prefer films, I think,
With
generalization, well, infected films.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because that would be more scary. So I think infected films are pretty good in comparison to the zombies rising from the grave.
Yeah.
Kat, I haven't seen Morbius, but David Tennant is an excellent bad guy as well. He's been like a bad guy in a few things, but yeah. Matt Smith's a great villain as well, though.
Yeah. He was a Terminator. Yeah.
Right.
He was!
So go on to another one that you guys might have seen. So you see when we get to the
Yeah.
ass end of the list,
Yeah.
Yes, and
it gets a bit spookier. So we've got The Descent.
yeah,
I
great
love The
movie.
Descent.
So
Yes.
good. So
Cool,
good.
cool. Many, like, the first time you see it and you see that goddamn thing in the background when they're videotaping. It's the
Yeah.
first time you know that there's something really wrong down there.
And again, it leans into like it's like monster, but it's also psychological as well,
You got
which I really love. And they had like the alternate endings. So yeah, I prefer obviously the bleaker of the two,
Yeah.
where it was like all a dream and she's still down there. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
After the spoilers. But yeah, such a good movie.
It's my favorite all-female cast movie,
Yeah.
because... Wait,
Well,
there's
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's a guy, but it's more of a flashback.
But like
so
the main
He
cast.
dies in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
car or something.
yeah. But the main cast, that's my favorite
Yeah.
all-female cast movie. So
I really like it as well that they don't even get on that well.
Yeah,
Not even
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's realistic.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's
I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
yeah, I hate you. I hate you both. Anyway,
wow.
Wow.
more it's being real.
I feel a bit
But yeah, I
nervous.
like that. Like I said, it leans into the psychological horror of like what being in that situation was do to you when you've got these predispositions and these feuds in between yourselves and your relationships with your friends as well.
Yeah.
It's like what happens to you when you get put in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think it married those two really well.
Excellent analysis. That film just is on a different level creepy to me.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Where if it's on,
It's
I'm
so
going to watch it every time.
claustrophobic as well. Like
Yeah.
claustrophobic horrors are
dark.
so good.
No doubt. Caving is bad enough.
Yeah.
But when you put something down there with you and and these people
Yeah.
don't even know how to get out,
Yeah.
you know, psyched you guys up to watch it again, I guess. All right. Well, we have 2 more films, but let's dive back into a couple of questions before, because we're going to run out of films soon, and we're going to begin doing questions.
Yeah.
So, what kind of music do you like, and who's your favorite artist? Okay, I like Cradle of Filth exclusively. I love those guys.
Exclusively. Only Cradle of Filth.
I have met Cradle of Filth a couple of times. I love them. They are fun.
Is Danny Filth like as short in real life?
He ain't that tall.
Because he's like 5 foot something.
Yeah.
He's like my height.
Yeah, he's not massively tall. No, he's difficult.
He's difficult. You heard it here, guys. Danny Filth is difficult.
I reached out to them when I was living in Japan because they did a tour and they don't often tour Japan. So I said, hey, if you want to see somewhere in Japan, I got drunk and I sent a message. Hey, guy, I can show you around Japan if you want to. You want to come see hello to me? Hello. And then by miracle, one of them replied, yeah, we don't know where we're going. We want to get some food and stuff, so help me out. So I did it. He got incredibly drunk.
Go on.
And he became difficult. He's all right.
He's all right.
But he's just like, he knows what he is, and and I don't think he's at the age where you could probably change his mind about how he carries himself.
Yeah.
But having said all that, love him, took some pictures with him, and nice to share a beer and ask him a couple of questions. So,
Yeah.
Really cool. Really
Nice.
cool. Overall great. Okay, before I've just literally cussed out my favorite band ever, and I'm deeply apologetic for that. But what is your favorite music, guys?
I don't know. Do you want to start with?
I love pretty much anything. I will you know when people say yeah, like anything, but I legit mean anything. Just show me anything, and I'll listen to it. And yeah, from cheesy 80s pop songs to
I'll have a bit of that.
The heaviest distorted guitar band you could ever show me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we all like this similar stuff anyway.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the 3 of us all have pretty similar music tastes.
Accurate, yeah.
So, but I mean, again, I will listen to like anything. I like a lot of sort of 80s stuff, and like late 70s, like goth kind of stuff. So
Cool.
I'm all about the synth at the moment. I'm a really big cyberpunk fan, and I'm really loving the soundtrack from that. There's some really good songs on there. So
Right now I'm just vibing to Winter Sun and folk,
Winter
folk metal,
Sun,
yeah,
folk
Scandinavian stuff.
yeah.
I like. Have you heard of Alagok?
No.
That's one of my favorites. I'm gonna have to link you to something.
Yeah, okay.
And that's Solstifer from Iceland. You'll like those. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely do it. Okay. Ray Tango 1234. What kind of bear is best? I know the answer to this. Black bear.
Panda bear?
I think that it's because it's from The Office. I think he's quoting
pandas
the
aren't
American
bears,
Office there.
though, are they?
Is it panda bear?
Black bear. There's
Why are
two
they called
different
panda
schools of
bears?
thought.
They're no bears.
I like red pandas, but
What
they're
about
not
koala
really
bears?
Koala bears.
Koalas.
Have you seen? Have you
type of
ever
negative,
seen
love
like
those.
a wet koala? Like
No,
they're demonic.
They look
they're
horrible.
demonic.
What about
They're
a shaved
evil.
one?
A shaved koala would be like my new sleep paralysis
you-
demon.
If you shaved a monkey and put it in a fridge for 1,000,000 years, would it be a human?
No, because it'd be frozen in that state.
But it would be naked, right?
Yeah. I mean,
That's an old thing Ali G said, sorry. I don't know why that popped in my mind. What kind of bear is best? I think that's from The Office. I think he's messing with us. It's from The Office.
I thought it was a
Polar
genuine
bears
question.
are cool,
Yeah.
though.
Well, bears are good. Polar bears, I wouldn't want to mess with those. What is the best Japanese horror film? My favorite is Uzumaki. Which is it's a Junji Ito adaptation where these people get obsessed with spirals, and everybody in the town is just obsessed with looking after these spirals.
Of that. I've not watched it, but I have heard of it.
It's low budget. It's not, don't expect amazing things, but I think there's something so weird and sinister about something so small, about getting obsessed with something. And people are like, you can't communicate to these people. They're just so engrossed in what they're doing. There's a point where this guy's been videotaping a snail, just watching a snail for about an hour, videotaping it, and they're like, that's my boyfriend's dad, why is he doing that? And it's something like,
You should check out The Void.
yeah, I love The Void.
Oh, okay.
I love The Void. Yeah, I love The Void. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant film.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of those kind of weird obsession, strange ones. Yeah, that's my favorite. Do you watch Japanese films much, or?
I haven't seen, like, I've seen a few Japanese horror movies, but I don't think I've seen enough to be like, this is my favorite. I've watched more Korean horror.
Oh, there's good stuff over there too. Yeah.
Than I
Not the
have.
Wailing. Anything but the
Oh,
Wailing.
I don't like the Wailing. Sorry.
Oh my
Oh my god!
I'm the only one!
Dip my head in.
Screw you, Kings!
I haven't watched it yet. I keep looking and I'm like, nah, it's too late to put the Wailing on.
It's like 3 hours long!
Yeah, don't go-
3 hours!
Yeah, no, it's a bit tricky, that one.
But yeah, I really like my Korean horrors. So yeah, I haven't got a favorite Japanese horror. I haven't seen enough, but
Yeah,
Korean
same.
horrors,
Cool.
they're
Like
more...
the Ring, Grudge, you know, that's all I can really name.
That's
so.
cool. There's some
what was
staples.
the one?
Yeah.
Like they remade it, like One Last Call.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Chuck
that, like,
Shinari,
I've
yeah.
seen the original of that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. That,
Again, it had
same
like
guy did audition. Yeah.
Yeah, it had like 90s kind of vibes. Oh wait, Itchy the Killer.
Yeah, same director.
It's not really. I wouldn't say it's a horror.
They have those phones. What is it called in flip phones?
Yeah.
Flip phones. Yeah.
You can remember this one.
You say garake, yeah, in Japanese. Or
Yeah.
you flip phone. You know, that's
Yeah,
why I'm
but
doing
like
this
the
mad hand.
Japanese.
Where's
Hand
question? Do you ever dream in Japanese? Like dream of
Yeah.
having just Japanese conversations?
If I've been doing loads and loads of stories,
Yeah.
and I don't output as much as most YouTubers, but I have to read until I find some good ones, because I can't just like read it in English and be like 5 seconds in, good, that's a good one. I have to take a little bit more time. Yeah, I definitely do. I dream about stuff I've read. I dream about places I've been, like when I lived there. Like I'll dream about literally walking into a shop and seeing somebody I've seen maybe once.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, that's that guy who works in the... Oh, I'm awake.
So, right, do you ever dream about, like, say, like, oh, you're in Japan and you go to a shop and you bring something back, and then you wake up, you're expecting that it's there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, I could go for that snack now. I just
That's a really good one. Like it's something really simple. Like I used to have my bed facing a different angle. You know your own bed. If you stay in a hotel, you know exactly when you're staying somewhere else. I woke up once over here thinking that I was over there, and then I'm like, I should be able to see the curtains from here, and then what the hell? And it's 5 seconds of panic, and then you're back to normal.
Why am I getting yelled at? And what?
I'm late for work. Oh no, I don't work there anymore.
Wait, my neighbors speak English? Since when?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. What's the best low-budget horror film? Oh, come on, Blair Witch. I love that one.
Killer Pinata.
Killer Pinata, big vote for that
Possum.
one.
Possum.
Yes, very good as well.
Yeah, Possum
Also,
was great.
another shout out for Wreck. Have you ever seen that? The Spanish one with zombies.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Outstanding.
That's
Yeah.
way better
So
than
good.
That's gotta be
the
low budget.
American one, whatever that was called.
Yeah, Quarantine.
Yeah. Wreck was
70
so much
minutes.
better.
Only 70 minutes
I
long.
didn't watch the. I've only watched Wreck.
Yeah, I haven't seen
the American.
I remember it was in
one.
the cinema when I was younger. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Wreck is great though.
Kat, you're absolutely right. That is Uzumaki. Well done.
Nice.
Good Nihongo skills there. Well done. What's the best? Everyone likes it, so it's a terrible horror film. I'm going to split some opinions here. I have never been too much of a fan of the Friday the 13th series.
What, even Dream Warriors?
Friday 13th.
Oh, Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can't cuss out Freddy.
No, nobody does. Robert
I
Englund's
just-
like the nicest man alive.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it was
Jason
because
X, though.
I love Jason X.
Jason X is great.
Freddy
Funny.
versus
And
Jason?
Freddy
versus
versus Jason was
great as well.
brilliant. It's
Absolutely.
so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. But I lose it between 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, whatever. I just don't. I don't think I was following it enough from the start, and then I have to like kind of catch it, and I'm not really engrossed in it. I don't know why.
Oh, King says we're all wrong. The Hide is clearly, I'm guessing, the best low-budget horror movie. Yeah, The
The
Hide,
Hide.
great. Yeah.
I haven't actually
Wait, you've
seen
seen
that.
it?
Yeah.
You never told me that.
You never asked me.
I hate asking you questions.
Because
Yeah,
I
guys,
know
we have to-
everything.
Wow.
Wow.
I bet King's head is exploding. Oh my gosh, she knows. Ah! Phenomenal.
Oh, he says that, doesn't he?
Phenomenal. Yeah. He does say that.
he does do that thing.
It's one of his catchphrases.
I can't. Oh, sorry. I can't think of anything. But like, I've never seen American Horror Story, but everyone talks about it. So
Yeah.
I'm worried that I'm gonna watch it
yeah.
and be like, oh, what was all the hype about? You know? But
Yeah.
There's certain seasons that are like less good, but like I really liked season 1, like Murder House. That was fun. And I really liked Hotel. That was good.
She knows.
She knows.
Yeah, it's a
She
TV
knows.
show, not a horror film, but yeah, that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. All right. Let's get the last couple of films done. 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. Well, 3 more perhaps.
Technically.
So, well, more than 3 more actually. So on the 30th of October, I want to be watching The Shining and Doctor Sleep. Now, I may only watch one of those because I'm committing about 5 hours out of my day to Stephen King.
Ooh.
But I love The Shining, and I really like Doctor Sleep. I enjoyed the book as well.
I was gonna say, like, are we talking? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, the book and the movies are like very different, like for both of them.
Yeah.
So, and I love the Shining movie, but it's nothing like.
Nah, it ain't the book. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's cool to watch around this time. I love the 1,000-yard stare and the jolting piano and the snow outside.
Great movie, but like
It
the
is in the
books
book.
are like
Yeah.
so different. They're a
No
lot
doubt.
more about Danny and The Shining.
Yeah, and the alcoholic father.
I've
Yeah.
not seen or read Doctor Sleep, so yeah.
Yeah.
I've
it's
only
cool.
seen The Shining.
I think it's a kind of good one to round off. If you've just suffered the stress of 28 Days Later and The Descent, why not go into something a bit like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of more of a slow burn, you know?
Yeah.
And then on Halloween, I want to watch American Werewolf in London.
Such a good movie.
Really love it.
I love that movie so
Absolutely.
much.
Yeah.
One of the best werewolf like transformations in cinema.
You got it.
So there's another werewolf movie that not many people have watched. Have you seen Ginger Snaps?
Love it.
It's
She's
so
in-
good.
She's in Freddy vs. Jason. Isn't she?
Yeah. I've met her in real life.
Really?
Yeah, she was at Comic-Con.
Oh.
Beautiful, lovely lady.
Saw
yeah.
her in X-Files as well.
Yeah.
She's cool.
And she's in Hannibal. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know
I'm
that.
only on episode, I don't know, 6.
And what was it? Where she's doing like the body modification, American Mary. She's in that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was a fun
pretty good,
movie.
yeah.
I really like the style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good ones.
But yeah, like Ginger Snaps. Yeah, Kings.
Yeah, Ginger Snaps. It would be The Shining the film.
Everyone
I do
knows this but me.
Ginger Snaps is great.
I've never seen or heard of it.
The guy would be the film rather than the series. Although I do really like the series. I do like it.
Was there a Shining series?
Yeah, it was
I
good.
Didn't know about
they
that.
actually did like the hedge maze stuff, like transforming and the lions and stuff, and the
That's
boiler and
cool.
all like from the book. Yeah.
I was gonna say, did it have more stuff from the book? Because like the movie's called The Shining, but I think The Shining, which in the books is like an ability
Like the
that
Force.
Danny has,
Yeah.
and it pops up in other Stephen King books as well. So,
No doubt.
but yeah, like in the movie, I think it was mentioned like once, and that
Yeah.
was it.
Absolutely. And then to round off Halloween, you got to put on some Simpsons Halloween episodes or some South Park or something just to get you over the.
But which South Park episode?
I like the one where the dad of Stan,
Yeah,
Randy,
Randy.
Yeah.
he has he buys into Blockbuster,
Yes!
and then he's like, oh, that's kind of like a Shining kind of
my
parody
favorite
as well.
is the one with the band Korn in it. And
Yes,
they're the
yes,
Scooby- they're the
Love
Scooby-Doo
Korn.
gang.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
He transforms into a shoe or
Yeah,
something.
it's turned to corn.
Yeah, that's a great
Corn
one.
powers vitalize. Poof, and they just all turn into different types of corn.
Come on, gang. Like that, yeah.
Niblet.
And of course, The Simpsons is always fun.
Yeah,
I don't-
Treehouse of
they're-
Horror.
You know,
Horror.
they're always good. I love their parodies.
Yeah,
And that's Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're just going to round off a couple more questions. I'm aware that I am, the hour grows late. I don't want to be.
Half, yeah.
I don't mean to be a
I
burden.
mean, we had a lot to get through.
We do have a lot to get through. Not too many more. We're going to go. We're just going to rapid fire through a couple of questions now. So, what's the creepiest thing that's ever happened to you in Japan, and in England? Well,
Paranormal experiences.
yes, and also I had a stalker in Japan. I'm going to tell that story when I get to 10,000.
Oh, I've had a stalker.
Yeah.
I have a stalker.
I've got photos. I've got it's a messy one. Yeah, really, really messed up. Also, in England, I was walking. This is kind of a okay story, I guess. I was walking home and I saw someone on the street ahead of me, just out of the reach of the street light, and it was dark, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I swear this guy crossed the road to stand on the other side of the road, and I was so worried that he did it, because it looked to me like he was wearing like a hoodie and stuff, and I was like, I'm the only one out here, I've got to walk past this guy. He's just purposely crossed the road to make sure he comes behind me or whatever. I stood there for ages just thinking like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'll be like, okay, I'll just get ready. If something happens, I'll get ready. I walked on, looked back, nobody there at all. I cannot explain it. There was a guy there. I literally saw him walk in front of me. He must have ran off or something, but I was really prepared that someone was about to like try and take my wallet or something.
Damn.
Really weird. That's one I can't explain.
Have you had any like paranormal?
Yeah, I did mention a story on another channel. I will upload that at some point, but paranormal, I'll give this one. There's a thing in Japan where you go into abandoned houses. It's called haikyo. So haikyo means basically ruins. So the word for like ruins and building and things like that. So you go in there. A lot of people abandon places they once lived in due to debt, due to family issues, due to all kinds of reasons. They just try to escape it. And then, unlike England and the West, you can buy a plot of land and then you own the plot of land. Then if you don't pay off all your stuff, the house just stands and you've just ran away from your bills. It doesn't really work. I don't know how they keep getting away with it. I imagine the laws are getting tighter on it. I went into this house that was there and it was covered in dust, like thick, such a thick layer of dust. It was like running your finger along a cake and all the cream was on your fingers. So disgustingly thick. I looked around and...
That's a really bad visual.
Yeah. I looked around, I went up and downstairs and there's this guy's clothes hanging up in the closet. There's these framed photos of stuff like awards. Like he was once a pillar of society. He used to do good things for people. His TV's there, still plugged in. All his draws family photos and stuff. He just ran away from his life basically. Or something else happened to him. No idea. Anyway, this house is still standing there. It used to be on the corner of where I lived, and I wanted to go in there so many times. I had to check, is it abandoned? Is it abandoned? I'll go back tonight, see if the light's on. No light on tonight. Okay, I'll go back tomorrow, see if the light's on. I found out it was abandoned because you could literally see through it because someone had thrown stones through it. And I was like, well, this guy ain't repaired his windows for about 2 weeks, so let's check it out. And I went upstairs. There's a cupboard, a closet for Americans, and then on the floor, there's these 1 yen coins. So you've got 1 yen, it's the lowest denomination, like a penny, whatever. They're in a big line, a big snaking line leading up to the closet. I open the closet.
No!
In the closet is a cup full of oil. In that cup is another coin, but a higher denomination, a 5 yen coin. On the inside of that closet is scratch marks. I don't know what any of it means.
My God.
I've got photos of it. I'll probably put them on when I get to a certain number of subscribers. And then I went and looked at some of the photos upstairs. I was hammered. I don't know why I did this. I was on my own as well.
Because you were hammered?
Yeah, I've got the videos and stuff. I'll upload them at some point.
Yeah, we need to see those.
But were they like claw scratches, or could you tell they were like...
There's fingers.
Like
definitely fingers.
Yeah.
Somebody's been put in that closet. They don't want to be in there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And there's one photo that's out of place. Framed photos, like you have like a diploma, you have like a picture of a family. Framed photos deliberately placed. One of them isn't covered in dust.
Oh.
It's a child's drawing.
Ooh.
And I look at it, and behind my ear, I can hear this.
Fast before
and I effing ran.
That's crazy.
And I got it all. You can see the point I run. I'll upload it one day.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm on the phone to my sister, so I've got to find out a way to cut my sister's face out of it. She's like, go in there, go upstairs, go look in that cupboard. She's egging me on and making me do all these things. But yeah, terrified me. I've been asking my friends if they were if they've gone past the place and if it's still there. Apparently, it's not still there.
Oh.
Damn.
But I'm going next month, so if it is there, I'm going in there.
Check it out.
I'm definitely going in there.
Do like a part 2.
Yeah.
And if you die, we'll make sure your story is
Blood
told.
will be on your hands.
Yeah, I don't have anything creepy that happened to me when I was in Japan, but I could tell you a quick funny story in England if you like. So one night I finished work, and this is like back towards my old house, so you can imagine the route I took. And halfway there, 2 police officers stopped me and said, like, "Excuse me, sir, like, we ask you who you are, like, show some ID and, like, give us your bag." And I'm thinking, what the hell, like, what's going on? So I let them search my bag, and I gave them my details. And they were like, "Okay, like, we just did that because we're looking for someone. You look, like, close enough to this description, black jeans, and I had black shoes on, and a backpack." So they were like, "We're looking for someone who looks roughly like you, so just saying, like, if you see someone that's wearing similar clothing, just call the police instantly." So I was like, okay, like, that's not scary at all. Like, it's pitch black, this was after midnight, finishing work late. And then I continue walking, and then another police car stops by me, and they did the exact same thing. And I explained, yeah, like, 2 officers did literally just stop me, and yeah. And they were like, okay, and they repeated the same thing. If you see someone that looks similar clothing to you, just call us, like, immediately. Okay. And so I continue on, and I go around a corner, and I'm walking, like, downhill, so houses are slightly above me, because you're going downhill, so they have steps going up, so therefore, yeah. So there are bushes above me, and the bushes are rustling like crazy, and I was like, is there a big animal in there or something? But no, some random guy jumps out, and that was the guy. He had, he had very similar clothing to me, black shoes, black jeans, and a backpack, and I just froze. I was just like, oh god, why were the police looking for this guy? Like, I just stood there froze, and he locked eyes with me, and I was like, I don't know what to do now. It's like, you know, in retro old cartoons, you're doing the mirror thing.
Yeah.
Like, and then like the reflections repeat what you're doing. So I was just like, I'm just going to start walking slowly and just be like, oh, it's just a guy, and walk past him. But then out of nowhere, a policeman just spear tackled him out of nowhere.
Wow.
I didn't even hear or see him coming. It was just like, "Bruh," and he was just like, I got him. And I was just like, oh god, I'm just going to continue walking. Nothing to see here. And then all these other officers just started like sprinting towards him, like, no, pile on, no, get him something next. I was just like, oh man, like, that was a close one, I guess.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That must have been well scary.
I had like something happen fairly recently in London. My friend and I went for like a couple of days just to go for a trip, and we stayed at a hotel. And we were on the 3rd floor. We were like in a rush. Our trains had been late. It was like a nightmare. We had to like hop on different trains, coaches. Like what should have been like a few hours journey was like, oh, we were exhausted. So like we hopped out of the lift, went straight to our room, didn't look around or anything. Like we kind of registered there were like pictures on the walls and stuff, like there normally are in hotels. So anyway, we get into our room, and like we both just kind of stop. And just this smell of really strong bleach, like disinfectant, like fills my nostrils. And I look around the room, and the way it's set out, I'm just like, I feel like this is a hospital room. Like, and like the way the windows were, they were like up high. And it was like really dark in there. I mean, it was nighttime by that point, but like even if the sun was out, it would be dark in there. And I was like, I really feel like really strongly that this is a hospital room.
Creepy.
So we've done past stuff, and we're joking and like psyching each other. Oh, what if it's haunted? Oh my god, ha ha ha. So we go out to go like wander around London for a bit at night because we're dumbasses apparently. And we go out on sort of the landing part, and we're like, oh, let's check out these pictures. And they were all like old-timey, like Victorian style photos of nurses. And
creepy.
there was like a baby in like her old style incubator, and we were like, oh shit, it is. So we kind of like, oh my god, maybe like this was a hospital. So we went down and we said to the hotel staff, we're like, oh, like we were just wondering, like playing it cool. did this used to be like a hospital? We saw the pictures on the walls. And they're like, it's not haunted. And we were like, funny you should say that, because you saying that it's not haunted when we didn't indicate that really makes us think it's haunted. So anyway, we went out and came back, and then we were freaking out each other more, like taking photos and videos with the lights off and the flash on. Like, I swear there were like orbs in one. My friend was like, they're flying around you, and I was like, no.
Creepy.
But we both got woken up like early hours of the morning, and we'd heard our next door neighbor go in and out. So we knew what that sounded like. There was just one guy next to us, and we'd heard him pop in and out of his room. But yeah, I was kind of half asleep. My friend was just like looking on Snapchat, chatting to like her boyfriend, and then I kind of got woken up by the sound, and it was a very distinctly our door opening, and I personally had locked that, but no, it was the sound of the door,
the handle
turning and the door opening, we both shone our torches like, what the F, but it was locked, completely locked. And and also just like hearing footsteps and stuff, we were like, oh, that's just normal like hotel stuff. But the sound of that door opening, and the fact that when we went into the room to begin with, it was such a strong, overpowering like feeling and
give me the heebie-jeebies.
Smell of bleach. But I feel like it could have been, if it was an entity of some sort, I feel like it was maybe like a nurse just doing the rounds. But yeah, we psyched each other up and like tried to scare each other. It was a good time.
What if they were the doors from Hitchhikers of the Galaxy, the sound?
But yeah, it was like distinctly our door. Like, that's what freaked us out. So,
creepy.
Yeah,
I've been doing some stories about cabins. Spoiler alert for my next video.
Ooh.
There's some doors opening in that. That's
Nice.
quite similar. The doors. Yeah, they're quite similar to what you experience. Like, you can just hear something in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Sounds like a door. Get the gun.
But yeah, it was crazy. And the hospital, the part of the hotel that used to be a hospital, it was a laying-in hospital, which is where women in the late stages of pregnancy would go to like rest before they had the baby. Yeah. So you can kind of imagine, like, if there were nurses there, their spirits might remain, or there might be like, you know, like wailing mothers if something happened to their baby or something. Creepy. You know. But also, like, we were looking into the history of it, and Florence Nightingale was there for a while. So. But like, spoiler alert, apparently she was not a nice person in real life.
Heard that.
Yeah. Don't come for me, ghost of Florence Nightingale.
Get her.
So yeah.
All right, cool stories. Do a couple more of these questions, I guess. Who are your top 3 movie directors and top 3 horror films? Oh man, we've gone through a lot of movie directors and a lot of horror films.
Robert Eggers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for me, James Wan, Robert Eggers, and either John Carpenter or Eli Roth, but that's 4.
Solid choices.
And movies, I guess, first Saw, The Thing, and maybe Hostel, but I'm not sure. I feel like there's something better there that I could.
I don't really see Hostel as like horror though. It's more like torture porn.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't class it as horror. It's torture porn.
I just love, like, what would I do in that situation kind of moments. Like that's the scare factor I love. Like, what would I do? Like,
I like the bit where they snip off the eye and all the stuff oozes out. I was giggling so hard at that.
I don't do well with stuff like that. Movie directors, I don't know. I'd probably say I love John Carpenter. He's probably my favorite. Do like a bit of Hitchcock, and I'm sure there's others. But I can't think of it right now. Most of my films that I choose in this list are reflections of what I like.
All the Twilight Zone directors.
All the Twilight films. No, all sorts. It takes a whole lot. I can't pick 3, I guess. How long did you live in Japan, and did you teach English over there? Was it awesome living there? So many questions. Yeah, I lived in Japan for about 5 years. I really enjoyed it over there. I had, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, just if you are planning on going to live in another country and you have to learn a language, get out there and try and get a part-time job doing something where you're forced to learn the language, it will really do you so many favors that you won't even be able to know about.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds horrible, like sitting in a bar and getting questioned by some drunk local, but it's going to do you so many favors, because I guarantee you, if you don't have the answer the first time, you're going to have the answer the second time. You go home, think about it, like, what did he say? It kind of sounded like this word. And then, oh, I heard someone like on the news when I was watching the news say that kind of word. Oh, yeah, I can tell him now. I can actually answer that now. It'll make you feel so good. So definitely do that. Yeah, I was a teacher over there, had a school, and it was real fun. So, yeah, I have so many great memories of that, and that's part of the reason I had to leave at one point, because of the weird stalker, and it was impacting the lives of the students. So yeah.
Was the stalker thing after the closet cupboard moment?
Yeah, it was.
Scratches?
Yeah, maybe I cursed myself. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
You're like, haha, oh no.
Yeah, I've sat in bed wondering that sometimes. Do you have any experiences with British folklore, or know anyone that has? I think we covered that a bit with the Beast of Bodmin. So yeah, well, yeah, I think we've had a bit of that. When you know about the day. Oh, is that a question? Oh yeah, Barbie.
Scariest, creepiest story you've told, or that you.
Oh yeah, okay. One that I've told, I guess it would be that I'm a big fan of like the human horror, even though not everybody likes it. I think the scariest things on earth are people. And one story I read that I found, I translated and put on my channel, was this girlfriend of a guy was invited to go to his hometown to meet the family. And they were, unusual. First thing they did when they met her was like, can we see your phone? You must need to put it on charge. You've been traveling so long to come visit us. Took her phone off her straight away. Frightening. I mean, you would put a bit of trust into your boyfriend's family, right? Because you haven't met them before, and be like, oh, that's fine. Oh, they're trying to help me out. Here, charge my phone. Took the phone away. Sinister looks between you. And then at dinner, they're supposed to have this big dinner where he announces like, oh yeah, like this is a girl I want to spend my life with. And when they're not even that, actually, he said like, this is my girlfriend, welcome to the family, kind of thing. Like, I hope that we'll be seeing a lot more of each other, kind of stuff. The dad brings out some creepy contract, and he's like, if you're gonna be dating my son, you need to be signing this. And I'm not letting you out of here until you sign it. You ain't getting your phone back.
Damn.
And like, she is much like probably us reaction, like, no, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
So he goes, that's what it is. The son drove you down there. The train station's about an hour away. You're out of options.
Yeah.
So he locks her in a bedroom and gives her time to think about it. The mum, his wife, comes to the door and goes like, your life will be just so much easier if you just sign it. Could you just sign it and we can get on with our life? We don't want you're creating problems.
Reading it?
Yeah, you're creating problems. Just say you're going to marry him. Just say you're going to sign over whatever you've got to him. Just do it. Just do it. And just say you'll abide by the rules that he sets out. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. It's horrible. And then she basically just has to give up everything, jump out of a window from the second story of a building just to get away. And she has to run about 45 minutes to a train station to get away from this creepy family. And then even though she gets away, she's getting bombarded with emails from the ex-boyfriend, obviously ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you'll never get away from me, you'll never do all this. And you're like, that to me is so creepy. Like, you've arranged with your family in some weird scenario that you can entrap someone and try to bend their will to make you believe.
How did you hear about the story?
Oh, I find it like when I search for those, I find like I look for true stories. I try to put in human ones and ghostly ones, and
this was some drunk customer in your bar telling you the story.
No.
The one that got away.
She got out. No, this was posted on like a kind of Reddit that you have in Japan, but they often post it anonymously, so you can't. Sometimes they reply to the comments.
We've already answered.
Yeah. Okay, last question.
Yeah, we answered that. The paranormal encounter.
All right.
That's my creepiest story I've heard that I believe is the one that Jay Nightmares told just a minute ago.
There you go.
But yeah, like true crime stuff. Like
Love true crime.
I've not seen it.
I put some true crime on this channel.
Yeah,
Weird
it's just like the things that people are capable of in real life. Like, forget like fictional like horror stuff. It's like these things happen in real life. Like our last podcast, the one we did with Kings, and like I told the story about the girl that had both her arms cut off by the trucker. Truckers, don't come for me in Kings. We don't think you're all bad. We promise.
There was something Kings asked. What did you all think about Memories of Murder and about the director Bong Joon-ho?
I think I know that director. I haven't seen Memories of Murder.
I've heard of the director. I think I've heard
Is that Parasite? The guy who did Parasite?
No, I don't think so.
Don't ask me.
I don't know. I don't tend to watch too much.
Go woggle it.
South Korean stuff.
안녕하세요.
I like it. Yeah, 안녕하세요. I love it. It's a lovely country. They got some creepy. They got some goddamn creepy stories over there. I just don't.
But do you think the ghost stories?
Yeah, he did do Parasite.
Do you think the ghost stories are that good because they've had history of it, or like somewhat realism of history behind ghost stories?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, even I find a lot of Japanese stories about South Korean stuff, like the atrocities of war.
Yeah,
and, there's haunted like caves that they were forced to dig in, and then if you go in deep within the cave, you'll hear some voices. Yeah. So there is tons. There is tons out there.
I will definitely watch Memories of Murder though, because I like a lot of the movies that he's directed.
He did The Host as well, I think.
Yeah, I love The Host.
It was a great kind of monster movie.
Yeah, The Host is great.
I love that. Yeah.
I've not seen it.
It's a cool one.
We'll watch it.
Don't know why I'm here.
Yeah. Good man. That's all I got. I am going to stop taking up time in these lovely people's home. Thank you for joining me on a separate channel, and do remember to go hit that subscribe button to my good friends over here. And yeah, maybe we'll do something like this again soon. Maybe
we got to do some gaming stuff.
Yeah. Do some gaming stuff.
When I'm not banned from live streaming.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate kind of situation. But yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in and asking your questions. You've been a wonderful addition to this night.
Yeah, you guys were great in chat.
And also shout out to Ali Cat, who did the artwork you're looking at right now.
Yeah. Brilliant artwork.
I think her Twitter's links down below, I think.
Yeah. And if I can, I want to upload this on my channel. I don't know how to, though.
I'm sure we can get it sorted.
Are you able to like download it and I can?
Yeah, I basically download it and send it to you.
Or you can log in as me.
Or put it on a hard drive and just give it to you, like when I see you.
You can log in as me if you want.
Oh! Yeah,
just ignore my.
If not, then I'll do it. Yeah, the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoy Halloween as much as we clearly do.
Yeah.
And watch some